ho, 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 ho. Yes, indeed. Oh, what a good week of fantasy football we have ahead of us. It is so indubitably perfect. Oh, how I sniped all of the quarterbacks and took Drew Lock to take myself to the semi-finals. I am such a sophisticated man. Oh, sometimes I just am too smart for my own good. Oh, everybody who's still here, welcome to the Chosen One's Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Smarty Pants, and today we will go over a bit of a recap of last week. We will also go into the two future matchups we have, and I will give out some predictions. The episodes are getting shorter, the days are getting longer, and I am only getting smarter, as seen by last week. So let's just hit the button.
I got a hangover. Whoa, I've been drinking too much for sure.
Okay, so for the first matchup, we had Stickers FC with 109 points to the bye week. Beat them by everything. Chris McCaffrey's been on fire. Kyron Williams coming back off of injury. Fantastic. Gabe Davis is it's either 0 or like 10 for that guy, so that's interesting. Evan Ingram's been pretty solid for him, so good job there, beating the bye week. Then we had Whedon's Gordon's Blunts versus Chillin' with my homies. Both of them had pedestrian scores. This one was a pretty close one, though, 74-76. Again, Patrick Mahomes put up mediocre numbers with 19. Austin Eckler, kind of meh. Mr. Ford, kind of meh. Like, everyone on this team really good meh, except for Amani Ross St. Brown, to be honest. So he's probably going to hope that his players bounce back. I think most of them should. Unfortunately, it was also funny with the picture sent in the group chat from Whedon saying, am I really outperforming it? And then loses in the playoffs. We'll miss you, buddy. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. And then we had Andrew some guy scored a whopping 92 points against the bye week. James Cook went off for him. Brock Purdy was pretty solid with 28 points. Bijan disappeared. Tyreek was out. So we got that with two players pretty much doing 0. Most of the points really come from James Cook and Mr. Brock Purdy. Then we had, oh yeah, good job being the bye. Then we had myself versus Queso Wiz doing, hold on. Oh, what a matchup this one was. We had Geno Smith on Queso Wiz scoring 0 points. And he had no backups to do because I picked them all up, including Drew Lock, as I stated before. Would it have made much of a difference? Probably not. However, I am now the smart one. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, back to normal voice. Now, that was pretty good of me, 95-77. Dak Prescott pooped the bed, so that was making me stress all week. Taysom Hill scored a whopping 1 point, which is more than he scored this week. Spoiler. But anyways, yeah, I won. Now, it is time to say goodbye because you were no longer chosen.
You will only feel the breeze when it comes to steal your cheese.
I shall eat some queso chips for you, just to think of your loss. And then, goodbye. Maybe you should be using that bong to help yourself smoke some weed. So that way you can recoup from your loss, Mr. Whedon's Gordon's Blunts. You two are now unchosen. So, with that being said, gosh dang, I'm smart. Anyways, we're going to go to the future.
Come and take a trip with me to future world.
For those of you those of you still sticking around, my goodness, is it going to be stressful. I mean, this is semifinals. It's one win to the Super Bowl. It's fun and stressful at the same time. I can tell you that much. First matchup, we have Stickers FC versus Chillin' with my homies. This should be a powerhouse quarterback. Mahomes is facing the Raiders, and despite the Raiders doing pretty well against quarterbacks, Mahomes does tend to tear us apart. So he should have a better game than expected, I think. Josh Allen on the other side always has great games. He's going against the Chargers where they just got 63 points scored against them. I don't think that Bills would do that, but we'll see. And then you got Austin Eckler, who's been quietly very disappointing, versus Christian McCaffrey, who's just on an MVP level. Might even win. So if he does, maybe Winnings Corners Plus to be happy, so that way he gets a muchacha. And then Jonathan Taylor, who's coming back from injury. A bit scary to start, but hey, if he does, he should get the bulk of the workload with Zach Moss most likely being out. Then you have Kyron Williams, who already played on Thursday with 18.6 points. That's a lot for a running back. That's great for him, I'm sure. And then Tyler Lockett versus Cortland Sutton. I'm probably going to be... Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so of Mahomes and Allen, I'm going to go Mahomes because of the Raider. He's been slow. I'm going to go Josh Allen. And then Eckler versus McCaffrey, I'm going to go McCaffrey. Jonathan Taylor versus Kyron, I'm going to go Kyron. And then Tyler Lockett and Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton has a knack for the end zone this year, and I think he'll be continuing that, and he will win. Cortland Sutton, but he do better. Amani Ra, Gabe Davis, not even close. Amani Ra is going to outscore him. And then Puka, 28 points already, and then Quentin Johnson on the side for stick carriers. It's really going to be Quentin Johnson probably won't do much. But I think Keenan Allen's out again, if I'm correct, so that could help, and the backup quarterback, I think, kind of threw to him a bit more. But I don't see him putting up much, maybe like 8 points. Who knows? Ferguson and then Evan Ingram. Always Evan Ingram. I guess he's having like a really good season this year. He's on pace to have like the 4th all-time catches in his season by a tight end. I can't remember completely. And then Brandon Ayuk and Zeke. Zeke has a great matchup. However, Brandon Ayuk is one of those players that can just blow up. So I'm going to take Brandon Ayuk on that side. This one's really going to be close. The thing with this is Stick Carriers FC's been so hot lately, and he's already got 18 points on the board. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than Fantasy Football app says, because it says that he'll get 111, the other guy will get 124. I think this would be like neck and neck the entire week. But at the same time, I got to pick a winner. And honestly, it's pretty much a coin flip at this point. But I'm going to go for the winner. Hey, dogs, get out of here. To be somebody. Here we go. That's right. I'm going with chilling with the homies this week, just for that 20th boost of a series. I do think it's close. I wouldn't be surprised if Stick Carriers blew him out of the water, or even just made this a lot more competitive than people would think. He's also the 2 seed, so who knows. But both these teams were kind of getting hot fast, minus the fact that Mahomes had a terrible week last week. But that's the last week, not this week. Now we're working on the cleansing versus I'm Ginger, so I'm gay. This is another stressful matchup. I did lose to him earlier in the season off of a draw, so there's always that. We got Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. I'm going to go Dak Prescott on this one, and that's just because Baltimore's a pretty tough defense, so hopefully Brock Purdy struggles. And then James Cook, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson's out again, and there might be another running back out, so he might get a bit more of a workload, but I'm still going to take James Cook to do better on this. And hopefully they don't do what they did last week and just run the ball over and over, James Cook, or I will be stressing. Now we have Kenneth Walker versus Bijan Robinson. This one, so weird having Bijan get like no points last week, but it's probably just because he fumbled and then he got rookie discipline. I don't know. But Bijan should really have a much better game than Kenneth Walker, I would assume, but you never know. So I'm going to go Bijan there. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. Hopefully Tyreek Hill's hurt again. Hopefully he rests his body more so that way he can play better for when the Dolphins are in the playoffs and not waste his week. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself right, Mr. Tyreek, which I'm still going to pick him over Devontae. CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, definitely going CeeDee Lamb. Chris Olave scored 18.8 points. And Smith and Jigba, I don't see him doing that well, so I'm going to give this one obviously to my guy. And then Stupid Taysom Hill did squat for me, 0.4 points. So Njoku is, of course, going to do better. George Pickens versus Warren. I'm going Warren. I think we all know who I'm going to pick, guys. This isn't even funny. Oh, yeah. Unless I lose. That'll bring me down. Yeah, definitely if I lose, it'll bring me down. So, if what I predict is right, it'll be myself versus chilling with my homies in the Super Bowl. Since there's only 2 matchups, I do kind of find it interesting that chilling with my homies... chilling with my homies and Stick Carriers FC both don't have a Super Bowl to their name. Or, being chosen. But I'm Ginger, so I'm gay, and myself have been chosen before. So this year, it's a 50-50 that it'll either be someone who gets it twice. Unfortunately, Jordan was the first to do that. Or someone who get it for their first time to be chosen. Who knows who will be chosen? Only the fantasy football gods will decide. Oh, it could be me. Just kidding, guys. No, I really hope it is. But, hey, it's going to be a tough week. And this is probably going to be a short episode just because we only got 2 left. You guys will love it if I make it to the Super Bowl because only one person will be listening, and that'll be my opponent most likely, if I make it. Anyways, I think it is time for this podcast to end. Dak Prescott running around and throwing the ball to CD for 5 touchdowns in a game would be so exquisite. I will have my finest wine and cheese to be watching the games. Oh, Mr. Antonio Gibson. I used to know your Antonio Gibfather. That was most likely a stretch. Kenneth Walker, I hope you Walker all over my opponent this week. While Devontae Adams, I hope your family's doing well. Because the Adams family was quite an exquisite time when I visited. Mr. C.D. Lamb, I hope to eat a lot of Mongolian barbecue with lamb chops. Oh, I will love Olave this week. While I might have an uphill battle to win, I really think that I can Pickens my team to slaughter. Goodbye, everybody. Once again,